Hi, everybody. It's Deanna with Tools of EnergyProtection.com, your energy shift expert and Akashic Records advisor. How's everybody doing tonight? It is June 29th of 2021. Can you believe it? It's such a beautiful evening. A lot of people are out having fun and participating with their families and doing things late in the evening. So I'm very thankful for each and every one of you that's joining me here live tonight. And we've got a lot of things to cover. There's a huge amount of shifting in the universe, there always is. Um, but what's going on right now is basically the retrograde planet dance. That's pretty much what's happening. While I'm waiting for it to populate and a few people getting on here, I'm going to pull up a few other things and we'll get started with this evening. If you have any questions about what's going on right now, if you want to put those in the feed, I'll be more than happy to take your Q&A, see what's going on. And I did bring my bottle of water tonight, although it's very big. Um, but we have so many things going on. I was reminded that about 2 years ago we had a similar shift. And so I saw some pictures of what's going on. And with the bioelectromagnetic frequency, what's happening is we're not getting our normal bell curve, our normal resting period. So everything is just up in the air pretty much all the time. All right, let's see who we've got on here. Let's say hello to Chelsea. Hi to Angie. Hi to Becky. Thank you all for jumping on tonight. Hopefully, we'll get some more folks, maybe people on the replay. Anyway, so what we're looking at tonight is we've got 4 planets currently in retrograde. And when that happens, uh, it's an alignment that allows us to step into more inner peace. It allows us to step out of things that are not helping us with inner peace. And that's kind of tricky because there's things in my life that have been agitating me a lot lately, and I would really like to just step away from them and be done. However, there are things that are always going to be in my life, or at least they're going to be in my life for a few more years. So I'm learning, how do I manage the things that don't honor me in this life right now and honor the energies that are telling me to let go of the things that don't honor me right now? Seems like an oxymoron. Anybody else feeling this out there? Give me a thumbs up if that's how you're feeling. It's causing a lot of stress. It's causing a lot of anxiety. It's causing us to feel ungrounded and unsure of ourselves. So, in this particular time and space, I've been talking about karmic energy clearings. And if you haven't seen it, one of my clients shared her experience on what happened after she had. That's over on my website, toolsofenergyprotection.com. Of course, that's not her real face, but she shares how she felt after this cleansing. So, what you've got during these retrograde times and these different planets spinning in and out um, is it's a time to readjust yourself by finishing things that you've started, completion of things that you've started, and it's also a time to restructure and reshape how we're doing things. So it depends on where you are. For myself, I have a lot of projects left undone, especially after, being out for about a month. And I also have some relationships that need door closing. And one of those is with myself. So there's things that I've let go on for years and years within myself, and I wasn't aware of it, and these things were causing a lot of issues. And so I did some meditation and some prayer, and I said, please show me what it is that's blocking me from doing this or not obtaining that, because I felt like I was being held back. And I knew it wasn't a demon. I knew it wasn't bad juju. I knew it wasn't a curse or hex or other things that I clear. But what I knew was there was something keeping me from achieving my desired result. And when I got a look at that up close and personal over about 4 or 5 nights with my guides, sharing things with me in my sleeping state, what I found in my waking state is that those things that were blocking me from going forward were so deeply ingrained in my brain that I couldn't even see them. How many of you feel like you go through your life day after day and you're trying to change, and maybe you wrote yourself some notes on do this first, second, and third, and when you step forward it feels good, but there's something that's like sticky paper that keeps you locked into a certain position? Can I get a thumbs up if anybody is feeling that tonight? If that's not you, that's okay. We have lots of different folks, that join this program. So, there might be some others. We'll get maybe to what's going on for you. But that's what's happening in my world is is attempting to change, taking those steps. I told you last week, little short incremental steps towards change or transition. And when I do, it's like a whole bunch of things pop up in my face. My guides are being funny, and they said it's like opening a door and a whole bunch of birds flying out. It's like, I didn't know all that was in there. So, what do we do? How do we progress and complete our dance, if you will? If we've taken all of these steps to transform ourselves, to change, to step out, to become a different person. And from what my guides have been telling me, and I'm hoping it's not just me, but it's about boundaries, the B word. It's about safe boundaries, and not only safe boundaries with other people, but yourself. And I'm going to let you know that if you don't know how to draw safe boundaries with yourself, how can you draw them with other people? So I had a very nice chat with a woman the other night in a grocery store, and she was telling me, she's in customer service, and she was telling me that sometimes she picks up other people's energy and reads them and feels it within their own self and her own body. And that makes it hard for her sometimes to do her job. Not always, but she guards herself. She goes around guarding herself like this, attempting to do her job. And I would think that would be quite exhausting after a while. But we had a nice chat, and I suggested to her to put some boundaries in place with other people by putting boundaries in place for herself, like setting herself, doing Tai Chi or, balancing your toroidal field and setting herself some energetic boundaries so she's less likely to take other people's stuff on. And then also a safe boundary for her would be to journal and find out, why is it I feel like I have to take those on? Because what she has is a beautiful divine gift. If you are around other people and you're absorbing other people's energy and it's draining, and at the end of your day, especially if you're in customer service, you're just so drained, that's because you haven't put up safe boundaries. You have a beautiful divine gift. Can you imagine being near somebody, talking to them, and they're telling you what's going on, and you can feel it only temporarily in your own body? Just to know, is it their heart chakra, their gut chakra, what's happening? But to carry that and then have to go away and process it, I did that when I very first discovered my gifts years ago. I usually did it with physical ailments. So somebody would talk to me that their shoulders were aching, and unknowingly, I would take on all of their energy in my shoulders and I would feel that ache. And it would take me days to get rid of that. And the other person would go, wow, my shoulders feel so great. And they call me the next day, tell me they felt all better. So that's a boundary. It's also a gift from a different time period. But in this time period, it's not our job to absorb other people's energy and process it for them. That's their job. But we can reflect it. We can reflect it out. And if you are a shaman or a person who's like, oh no, Deanna, no, 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 that's not right. I absorb other people's energies or demons, I process it in my own body, and then I flesh it out and they're all better. If that's your path, great. But please have a way to detoxify yourself, to cleanse yourself, so that you're not being constantly drained by whatever you took on for them. It should be a quick process. All right, let's move on. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to put them in the feed as we're talking about this tonight. Okay, so the guides say to change subjects. I'm like, yep, that's good. Okay, so the four planets that we have right now, I wrote a whole script again of things to talk about. I should know, I'm a silly woman. I should know better than to do that because the guides are always telling me what to say. Not that I always listen, but anyway, I am a channel, if you will, for these beings and some beings of light. There's some light beings here actually in the studio in the corner, and they're letting me know what to say so that I can be a better service to all of you and you all can get the messages that you need. All right, here we go. So, I was going to talk about, inner peace and how the universe gives us a chance to learn these lessons, and that's why all the planets are the way they are, and that you can free yourself from karma by doing the work, the inner work now, and letting go of things and closing and opening doors as needed. But the guides were telling me that there's a great big fear factor with retrogrades. That people will, oh, don't sign a new contract, don't get married, don't do this, don't do that, especially during retrograde season, especially Mercury. Poor Mercury gets a bad rap. And they were telling me that retrogrades are known for times of confusion. That's why you don't sign new contracts, for disorder, and for backtracking. And that can be. But I'd like for you in this beautiful age of Aquarius to begin to think about retrogrades being an opportunity to have grace. God's spiritual source has grace on us. We make mistakes and we're granted grace. We're given an opportunity to correct our behavior and make a different choice. Hopefully, the choice that will honor us, help us to feel better, have a greater relationship, handle money management better, allow ourselves to have abundance. So, that was the big message. They were asking me to tell you that retrogrades aren't about all of that necessarily, although people have that, but it's more about finishing what you started at the end of a cycle or season, and um, and to regroup. So for me, uh, I'm regrouping, and I'm attempting to do things in a way that will flow in my life for all the members of my family. It's not working because the time I'm desiring to have my attention focused on my work and to be doing the things that perpetuate client service, that's the time that everybody else wants my time. And I can't do that. A house divided will not stand. A house divided among itself will not stand. So I have been regrouping and creating a schedule that allows for a little bit differently than what I set the schedule out for a couple of weeks ago. So that while my desires are being met, my needs, the other people are getting something as well. So that there's not this tension and this fight over a same time period, a shared time period. And I don't know if that's happening in your life, but some other people have told me that there are similar situations post COVID. Some people are still working from home and they're having to adjust how they divide their duties. So if you have two people in the home and one of them desires to return to the workplace or be the superstar and have, whatever they need, their time to do their work and give no consideration to other people in the household, then that needs an attitude correction and an adjustment. And oftentimes, it's not the person who's attempting to share that needs the correction, it's the person who is being selfish and not considering others. Or perhaps they're not selfish, perhaps their focus is not wide enough. They're just tunnel vision. And that requires some correction. So it's usually, like I said, the person who's being inconvenienced, or that's not really the right word. It's the person who is bearing the burden of the load. There we go. The person who's bearing the burden of the load who wants it to change. And the person who's not bearing the load doesn't really care. So during these retrogrades, you're having an opportunity to realign that by drawing boundaries. And boundaries aren't always easy, especially if they involve families with children, because there's a innate responsibility for the woman to nurture, and that's part of who she is. And there's an innate responsibility for the male to do what he needs to do, single focused, to provide for his family. So, again, these times that we're living in, with it being the age of Aquarius and post COVID, couples are going to be asked to work together by divine order. And those that can't work together and are not able to come together, find a way to make it work. Find a way to have responsibilities shifted, and maybe you have a schedule for a week and then the next week it's different. I don't know. But if you're not able to do that and you can't draw boundaries for your own self with that other person, there's going to be some huge challenges because you're going to see a big rift between positive and negative energy in that relationship. So I'm going to cut it there because my guides are telling me who I'm talking to knows exactly what I'm talking about and they're going to be okay. So I'm going to shift to the next subject. And I forgot, usually I start my videos with telling you we're going to talk about 3 things, but I didn't tonight. Okay, so we have got 4 planets in retrograde, and the first the first planet we have here is Jupiter and Neptune, and they began their retrograde or their backspin, if you will. Mercury, that was in retrograde, exited on June 22nd, so he was on the dance floor, she by herself, and then woohoo, here comes these others. Well, not literally by themselves. But Jupiter and Neptune decided to get on the dance floor, and Jupiter is um, a planet that will cause a lot of the white and red lines on our Schumanns to go crazy, which is about emotional stimulation of what do you need to take care of, what doors do you need to open or shut. Pluto, so you have Jupiter and Neptune that began the retrogrades recently. Then Pluto is in retrograde, and Pluto usually works with self assurance and self love, and that started April of this year, and it'll go until 2024. So that one will be there a while. And then Saturn started May 23rd of 2021, and Saturn creates distance and time. So you have the 2 planets that have been there for a while, asking you to look at self assurance, self love, and creating the distance and the time for you to do so. And then recently on board, here comes Jupiter and Neptune, and now you got this 4 planet dance going on. Lots of stuff happening. So please be gracious to yourself as we take this time to readjust our challenges. And I did tell you in the promo for this that I was going to talk to you about the mystery of what's behind all these energies. And yeah, you could say it's Schumann's, the planets adjusting, the way God, Spirit Source put this in motion. But the big mystery, if you will, behind all of these frequencies and changes is for the empaths, the sensitives, highly sensitive people, empaths, and star seeds to begin to reorganize your gift. Remember, I said it's about shutting one door, opening another, or closing some things and beginning a new path. This is really the time, about the next, my guides say the next 4 to 6 months, where those of you that have been drained, like I was talking about earlier, giving all your energy away to other people, knowingly or unknowingly, or taking on other people's energy knowingly or unknowingly. Your beautiful divine gifts have always been there. You've dealt with it, and now you feel like I can't do this anymore, or I got to get out of this situation. That's the call for you to protect your divine gift and quit giving it willy nilly away to everybody. So get some help. If that is you, if you feel like that is you, today I did open some more times up. I did send out an email about the coffee chats being open if people needed help. A lot of people clicked, said they couldn't find a good time for them. So I have opened it up and I've also changed the name of it. So when you go over to toolsofenergyprotection.com and click on services, you're going to find a free strategy session. And then there's a description down there of different things like we talked about tonight. And if you would like to have a free strategy session where we can talk about the tools, because it's tools of energy protection, what you're experiencing, what is going on, are you taking on energy or are you giving it away? And what does that look like in your world? And how do you notice it? What players are in your life? And I don't mean players, but I mean players are in your life. So how do you think about others in your life? If you really desire to know where you're at right now as far as your gifts, your energy, think about a certain individual and notice how your body feels. So if you think of a certain individual and your gut chakra starts hurting or your gut instinct starts hurting, that's telling you about how you've been using your gifts in the past and how that person has drained your energy or perhaps beaten you to an emotional pulp where you can't use that energy anymore. Those are great signs. So that's what you'll bring to the strategy session to talk to me about. We'll find out how we can help you and how we can turn you around so you can have strength during this time, so you can keep all your energy to yourself. And I don't mean that in a bad way. When I work with people in sessions, I don't just give them every ounce of energy. I flow divine love, and I've learned how to do that over the years. And I've learned how to put energy shields up so that people aren't, dumping all their stuff on me, and I'm like, oh, taking it on. And you can learn to do all that. Yes, there are times when I still, get a little titchy, and I still receive some people's energy. But flowing divine love, flowing Earth Mother's love, however that works for you, and being the conduit is a lot better than being the plum that turns out looking like a prune. All right, I'll look and see if there's any questions. And then this week, we've been doing cards, and people have been telling me that they really love doing the oracle cards. So I'm going to pull the oracle cards for health this week. Hopefully it's going to be physical body. We already talked about it a little bit. And see if we have any questions. Hi, Chelsea. How's it going? Hi, Becky. Hi, Joe. Let's see here. At least we don't have any trolls this week. That's always good. Okay. Hi to Carolyn. Hi to Barb. Hi to Albert. Hi to Rex. Let's see here. Carol. Looks like we have Carolyn and Carol. Samantha. Hi. Good to see you. And Barb. So it's good to see all of you here. Glad you could join me. Okay. Yep. Oh, Jessica, hi. um, I got a question. Is Jupiter retrograde more intense than tiny Mercury retrograde? Well, it's not just the one little planet, it's many. So imagine all of these four planets on a dance floor and the floor is shaking. If one leaves the floor, it changes how our bodies experience the electromagnetic frequency and how our mind processes that. So that's an excellent question. It's just more about the dance of all the planets. But if you're asking me scientifically, you'll have to find out what the frequency of Jupiter is, and you'll find out what the frequency of Mercury is, and then you'll know. But spiritually and energetically, it depends on how many you have on the floor. Health and self-care. Angie says, I have been trying to get both physical and mental health issues in order. Good, Angie, keep going. Hey, Ron, how's it going? I'm glad that you joined us. All right, so as you know, when you use oracle cards, it's a bit like dowsing or using a pendulum. I've got my pendulum pinned on me today because I don't have any pockets in this particular outfit. And so what I'm asking is that everybody who is on here live, and for the energies to connect into those that'll be watching us later, because I'm asking the guides. There's some angels called the white light healing beings. They're really beautiful beings that were designed by spirit. And I'm going to ask them to help us to know what to look out for our, oh, they're telling me I need to pull this card. Um, to look out for our health for the next 7 days. And it's going to get a little dicey, ladies and gentlemen, for the next 7 days. Speaking of dicey, I did some cleaning in here the other day, and it's kind of dusty in here. Yuck. All right. So the card that I was told to pull out, oh, interesting, has nothing to do really with physical health. Has to do with emotional health. Create your accomplishments with humility. Celebrate your celebrate your accomplishments with humility. That's what it's saying about shutting the door on things you've completed. You are crowned with success. Powerful forces will guide you. Your ability to conquer challenges is limitless. So this is it. It's really a pretty card. So this is about um, holding ourselves in that noble stature as empaths, highly sensitive people, and knowing that we are bringing light to the world, but you can't bring it if you can't bring it. You can't bring that light to the world if you're so busy with all the other poop that you've absorbed from other people. So it's necessary for us to find a healing path for ourselves as we help others. All right, these cards, I'm going to shuffle them one more time. They're kind of quiet, but they're so big. They're way bigger than my hands. All right, the guides say the fourth card down has to do with health. Okay, so this one, oh, this one is upside down. So when this card comes upside down, what that tells me is we're still working on it. We haven't quite gotten there yet, but we're working on it. And it is a deer. It says, love, be gentle with yourself. You heal with the power of love. See the light in all things. Acknowledge your self-worth and grace. Wow, that's what we were talking about. Grace and loving ourselves by not letting other people drain us or taking on other people's stuff. That's, it's amazing. Gotta love it. So that's the one for our health. So being gentle on ourselves. I know I tend to beat myself up because I don't get everything done that I want to get done, and I run a tight schedule, which I'm not doing so much anymore. I'm running a more succinct schedule. But if it's still not achieving what I desire, and I don't think about being in sync with the universe, the universe brings me everything I desire, but I'm pushing too hard, then I'm not gentle on myself. And that hurts my health. That hurts because I have wear and tear and stress on my body. And who knows, maybe one of these days, one of the body parts will say I've had enough and give out. And then where will I be? Okay. Now I'm going to switch over to a different oracle deck. It's a wisdom deck. The guides are saying that this is the wisdom of the planets. So we were talking about different alignments, and somebody asked me a question: is one more severe than the other? Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. I have had one too many cards. So this deck, I used to send out cards to different people from this deck. And then I realized I had more cards than I needed in the deck, so I sorted them out. I don't know, maybe I'm just getting older, my hands are getting weaker, but these cards are hard to shuffle. All right, here we go. So this be the number four is the thing tonight because I'm hearing the fourth card down. Two, three, four. Fourth card down. Thinker. So this is the wisdom of the planets. The vibrational frequency we have been in is to take time to think. Take time to think about your energy. Where are you giving it? Who's taking it? That's a big one. People will take your energy in the most interesting, fascinating ways. They will do anything they can to get your attention, to draw you away from what you're doing. And you're like, please just leave me alone so I can do what I need to do to take care of myself. Oh no, shiny object, come over here, come over here. And, you know, as a sensitive person, oftentimes we don't want to hurt people's feelings. And so we'll go, oh, okay, I can get this done later. And we'll go do whatever they, you know, have asked us to do. And I implore you to not do that so much and to put people in time periods. So used to I took calls whenever they came in. You know, I answered the phone from 10 to 5, you know, 10 in the morning, 5 o'clock at night. And then I was at a point where I was answering my phone after 5. And that wasn't good for me. And it wasn't, you know, establishing any boundaries. So if you have people in your life that are constantly bugging you all day long, or for me, the other thing was I turned off all my pop-ups on my phone and my computer because every time I turn around, bing, somebody just posted, bing, somebody put something on Facebook, bing, you know, and that's energy draining. You don't think it is, you think you're ignoring it, but it's an interruption of your thought flow. So be very careful to establish boundaries. So I now have an hour and a half in my day that is me time so that I can pray, I can meditate, I can eat well, I can exercise, and then I can be a better service to others instead of being drawn out all the time. And then I have a couple hours of my day that I work with clients, and I have a couple hours of my day that I'm working on the next release or putting things out to help you all that are. I've got a book that I'm working on right now. The first 15 chapters just went to the editor, so we'll see what happens. But that's it. Just please draw boundaries with others. If I used to take, like I said, calls all day long, and my friends would call and text me during the day when I was supposed to be working, and then at night when I was supposed to be in my free time, my clients, you know, were calling or texting, and so I just drew a line. I said, put the clients in the client bucket and the friends in the friends bucket. So I don't know where you are in your life, but there's definitely people out there that aren't being succinct in the structure of their lives. And if you remember last time or the time before last, that's what I talked about. You've got to have structure in your life. So if you're going to be a thinker, and we got the thinker card upright, use positive thoughts, flow those thoughts from the divine to be of service to yourself first and others second. All right, next one. Looks like Debbie's joined us. Hi, Debbie. Um, and Barb and Victoria and Tammy. Hi, thank you for joining us. All right, the guides are saying that the next card about health is the next one is the fourth one down. Oh, okay, here's the fourth one down. It says higher power. I'll turn it right side up so you can see this angel. I think it's an angel. Anyways, it may be a person with their crown chakra, but higher power. So I've been using, and it get their little light on, and it's the number 4. Um, I have been using fourth card down number 4. Did you catch that? Anyway, higher power. I've been working with spirit ever since I was off for a month to learn how to heal my body more succinctly um, and to heal my life. So now, if you want to join me, I ask God, Spirit, or Source to show me what it is about my behavior that's keeping me from having better health. So now in the morning, I meditate. I read 20 minutes, something uplifting. I pray. Sometimes meditation, prayer, same thing, sometimes not. And I journal. I drink my water in the morning. I balance my pH. If you all have never done that, balance your pH in the morning. And then I have liquid greens, you know, to help my body, and usually a cup of coffee. But anyway, that's the first hour and a half of my day. That's my time. So maybe something like that for you. But that means if you have to start your day at like 7 o'clock, means you got to get up early. Some of us aren't early people. Anyway, I'm going to take one more card, and then if any of you all have a question, I can see a comment. I'll take some time to talk about a couple other things. The guides just had me to cut the deck in half, and they said to answer the question about, the gentleman was asking me about the retrogrades and is one more powerful than the other. But it's really a whole bunch of things. It's like putting salt and pepper on your food. Is one more powerful than the other? No, they just give different flavors. But the guides are asking me to end talking about health in this way. I cut the deck. I pulled the first two cards, and the first card I pulled was called Happy Happy. And if you see this gal, she's got a keyhole below her feet, and balloons lifting her up. So the key right now to get through these times, no matter what the world scene looks like, because the world scene, there's going to be a lot of hooey, and people are going to tell you stuff that isn't true. Oh, here's this story. Well, here's a story to cover up this story. Oh, this story is true. No, look at the secret just came out. It's all a story. Everybody's got one. But this one, you see underneath her feet is the key. That's to be grounded in your own self with your connection to spirit or source. Grounded, if you will, my guides keep telling me, grounded in your own truth. The truth, ladies and gentlemen, is the vibration that has you feeling positive. That is the truth. It's not her truth or his truth or my truth or what the preacher's preaching or what the, transformational coach is preaching. The truth is what resonates with you. You go, ooh, that's me. Okay? The truth is what makes you feel solid inside. Other stuff like fear, self limitation, self doubt, that makes you feel off balance. Hmm? Stress? Off balance. Not good. Causes health issues. So find your key. The other one for health, the last one, which kind of was like made me kind of jump back a little bit. It's called Not for You. And this one came in upside down. I'm going to put it right side up so you can see it. Not for you. Notice that there's a woman's hand delicately holding a chessboard with a fortune cookie. And the game hasn't started. Not yet. And if we get even closer, you can see that from the heavens. I think that's what that is. It looks like a picture. Um, but it looks like to me more of an etheric looking out on the chessboard. So the game hasn't started yet, and it hasn't, ladies and gentlemen. It's being built right now. The game that's happening on the entire scene of this planet will probably be unleashed full bore about a year. So this is the time to align yourself and your beautiful divine gifts, own them, don't let people swipe them, so you can stand fully upright and be fully empowered in who you are and your connection with the divine. Okay, that's done. Let me see if I've got any questions. Ooh, somebody get, no. Okay, so we're good there. Let's see if I got any questions. Then I have something else exciting to tell you. Okay, so I've got a comment here that says the key, this is earlier, is to be gentle and carry rose quartz. Yes, rose quartz is a wonderful vibrational energy to help heal many things. And a little comedy for tonight. I took my daughter and her friend garage sailing because they wanted to go, and I ended up picking up a bracelet for like a quarter, and it's rose quartz. I guess I needed it. And also, this really busy, beautiful necklace here I'm wearing tonight because my daughter is getting her money ready for college, and she's doing a fundraiser on Facebook Marketplace, and she's selling these, and she only has like two of them left, I think, or three. They were pretty good sellers. So if you're interested in supporting my daughter, if you'll go to my personal Facebook page and on Marketplace, you can find these. Anyway, so that is pretty much it for tonight, and I love each and every one of you. I will be putting out a Saturday um, uh, email newsletter. Last time I did it, it was about the person who got their karmic clearing and how much better they felt. So each Saturday, I will be putting something into the email, also posting it on toolsofenergyprotection.com and the blog to share with you things that are going on that we don't talk about here because we're having more fun here. So again, if you'd like to get a strategy session, just go check them out. It's on toolsofenergyprotection.com, and you click on personal sessions, and then up will come the strategy session so we can talk about what's happening for you and how you can get some help so that you can upright yourself too. Mwah. Big hugs and kisses, everybody, and I will see you. Oh, please do share the video if you enjoyed. Share, 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 and I will see you next week.